So I think we will have to stop for fuel. We're not that low, but, oh, it's slowing down here. 65. There we go. Didn't really notice that. I don't have a retarder on this truck. So, oh yeah, we're getting into Sacramento. Sacramento is not fun because it goes down to 40 because of the construction, and then it goes down to 30 because you're going into Sacramento. Or 40, it goes 40, 35, 55, and then 30, I think is how it goes. I can't exactly remember, but Sacramento is not very fun. That construction zone, I don't really know why it's there. And there's no, like, there's nothing important there, really, I guess. But, you know, not much you can do about it. Well, you know, you could always make a mod that removes that. I actually saw a mod the other day, yesterday actually it was, so Sunday, on atsmods.net, and it was a coast-to-coast map. And I think I might try it out on a different, like, profile or something, where I've got a truck that can go 200 miles an hour or something stupid like that. Just because I'm curious to see how detailed the roads and everything else are. I'm sure they're not, I mean, obviously, it's just a coast-to-coast map, it's not, you've got, I looked at the map in it, there were cities in between, like St. Louis and Oklahoma City and stuff like that, but there weren't anything other than that. The states weren't outlined and nothing. So, maybe I think I might try it out tonight, and just see how it is, because, and here we go. This is not a not very fun part of Sacramento. Alright, getting a 7 low. That's the only thing about the automatic transmissions as well, is that when you're going up a hill or something, you're not able to switch down into a lower gear, unless sometimes it works where you can let off on the gas and it will go down into a lower gear. But basically, I need to figure out some kind of way to, like, set up. I don't want to set up my wheel directly, but I'd like to have the shifter. I mean, that sounds really, really stupid. What I might try is a sequential shifter, which I don't think would be bad. Do something like Forza, or kind of like what Forza does, where they have 2 buttons and then one's a clutch or something like that. Well, with a sequential, you wouldn't need to use the clutch. Especially, I think it's kind of stupid to use a clutch without, like, when it's not on an axis. Like, if you're just using a button for a clutch, I think that's kind of redundant. But, alright, got back up to 70 miles an hour here. But see, you can see I'm running about 17, maybe 16,000, not 16,000, my bad, 1600 RPM. And it's probably a very kind of annoying sound for your ears, just because it's constant. Alright, so speed limit's got what goes up to 80, but by then I'd be running 2,000, and I don't really want to do that, because then it's going to be a louder noise in your guys' ears. So we're just going to kind of cruise at 70. We might have to get some gas a little bit. I don't know. We might have to get gas. From what it looks like right now, I don't think I'll have to cut this video into 2 parts. I might anyway. It kind of just depends. But, yeah. What's that? Oh, those are train tracks. I think that train just passed by. I like looking out at, like, the other stuff, at just stuff around, not just the road. Alright, so I think we're gonna have to stop at the way station. Yes. So, I'm fine with the way stations, but I just wish that, like, you don't see other trucks at the way stations. Obviously, you see these cars, and sometimes I'll see a truck in the back lot there. Other than that, I don't see any other trucks, which, it's fine, but when I'm on the highway, in real life, obviously you see trucks at the way station if they're open, but a lot of times I'll see, number one, a lot longer of way stations, and a lot more trucks in them, obviously. So I think we're gonna stop here just from gas really quickly. Just because we're here. We got a little bit less than half a tank. But I think it'd be beneficial if we filled it up here. I'd like some more things to talk about in these kind of videos, but I'm not really sure what, because I don't really like... Yeah, we still have about 60 gallons of fuel left, but either way. Yeah, I wish I kind of had some more things to talk about in these videos. I mean, most of the stuff kind of... Obviously... Alright, so this is what I'm going to do here, because that is completely ridiculous to have to stop at a merge. That's just... You should never have to do that. Now, of course, in real life, I've said it before, in real life you don't have robots. You have actual human beings who have feelings who will get over into the left lane before the merge, so people can get on. But obviously, this game isn't like that. So, it's kind of hard to criticize the game for being like that, but the roads are, or the merge and on-ramps and off-ramps are still very, very short. That's why I've decided now that I'm just going to use the shoulder, because that's basically the only logical answer, if you ask me. How am I supposed to get over within, what, 50 feet of road? See, this is where this is one thing. Of course, this is in real life. There are stop signs, or stop lights on highways, somewhat at least. But that's one thing that's kind of like, look at that. That's a glitch. There's lights coming on underneath the bridge. Also that, I don't like that either. Where like, so of course lights on highways are fine because they pertain to real life, but sometimes you gotta be very cautious with them, because if you're going 70 miles an hour and you don't see that stoplight, you're going to A, hit somebody, most likely, and B, run that light, because you're probably not going to be able to stop in time. So I think we're near Reno, actually. Or maybe we passed Reno already. No, I think we're in Reno? I really don't know. Yep, we're in Reno. It says that sign right up there. Alright, so I'm getting a little bit of lag here, and I believe it's because of these fences. You can see the shadows on the ground. That's a lot of shadows. I mean, they're not specific to each like chain link, but I'm pretty sure my FPS just picked up there again. Those shadows look very, very detailed, and I don't think they really need to be. I mean, it's just a chain link fence. If those shadows weren't there at all, I probably wouldn't even know if those shadows are supposed to be there. Oh man, that's a really nice sunset in our rearview mirror. Wow. That is really cool. Look at those colors. Awesome. Yeah, there's this game overall, I'd give it probably an 8. Probably an 8 out of 10. Now, a lot of people have like complained, like, oh, well, there's only 2 states, or whatever. There's only 3 states because Arizona's coming soon, whatever. But a lot of people don't really realize that this game, as was with Euro Truck Simulator 2, is a work in progress. I mean, it's not in early access, which I'm glad, because early access games have quite a... what's the word? They have quite a reputation for never getting out of early access, for being overall bad games. It's kind of hard to say. Like, it kind of depends on the game. But there are quite a few games on Steam that have been early access that have been in early access for over 3 years. Which is not good. That's really bad. I mean, for some game, like Kerbal Space Program as an example, that was a good early access game because they were adding content regularly, they were giving updates regularly. They actually released it not too long ago, about I think in November or October maybe of last year. I don't remember exactly. I was never too into that game. I mean, I played it a little bit, but never really got hooked, I guess. But that game released. I mean, it had been in production for... not production. It had been in development for quite a while. But they finally released it, which is awesome. I mean, that's amazing. I think that's awesome, being able to see a game that you've been wanting to see forever get released. I mean, of course, I'm sure they're still providing updates and stuff like that, but the game is done. I mean, and the game was always playable, just like Euro Truck. But Euro Truck, the only like content missing, because most early access games I've seen, the only thing that's like missing, I guess you could say, is content. And now you could say that about Euro Truck, American Truck, and say, oh, well, it's an early access game because it's just missing content. Well, yes and no. Because I feel like SCS did not really want to have that reputation of an early access game. They never really have done that. Because, and maybe it's just a pride kind of thing, where like, okay, if we put it in early access, we're basically asking people for money for an unfinished product, which I can agree with that completely. I'm not sure if that's how they're thinking it is or what, but that's what I would say. I mean, it just doesn't seem really fair to me to have someone pay, I guess, full price for a game and then have it, like, not work. Because American Truck, it's $20. And Arizona will be a free DLC. But the states after that are going to be paid. You're going to have to pay for them as DLC, obviously. But I believe they're going to do something where you're going to pay, like, for a couple states or a few states. Like, maybe states like Texas, they'll have to pay outright, like, $2 or $3 or something like that. But if it's quality, I mean, for $20, you get this game with California, Nevada, and soon Arizona. So, I mean, you can buy a AAA game for $60, and it might not have half of the amount of content that American Truck has, or it might have the full content either way. But by the time you pay for all the DLCs, let's say it's like per I don't know, 2 states. It's like, I don't know, just make up like a price point. I think we're gonna do the let's play it safe, because I have practiced backing up and stuff like that, but still not that great at it. So you're just gonna be able to pull in right here. But yeah, I mean, the DLC is not going to cost much. At least I hope it's not. It's probably going to be almost identical to... Okay, let's put our parking brake on. Put our parking lights on. But I believe it's going to be almost identical to Euro Trucks. Whoops. Let's pull ahead just a little bit there. Whoops. Too much. There we go. But I believe it's going to be identical to Euro Trucks, where if you look at the Scandinavia DLC and stuff like that, I believe it's going to be exactly like that. But let's drop our load off here and get going. So we got excellent. We drove 697 miles, which is quite a bit of ways. It took us 13 hours and 57 minutes. We consumed 157.9 gallons of fuel. Our total reward was $24,000 and 833 XP. So as you can see, I did upgrade quite a bit. I believe I was level 10. Don't quote me. I'd have to look back at my video, but you can also see my rewards are quite a bit higher. And I'll show you actually that my skills basically upgraded hazardous cargo to the max and long distance to the third. I think I might go for fuel economy next, because if you look, and this is something to note too, is they're not really like cheating you out of this, but the hazardous cargo will get you the ability to have different trailers and stuff like that. Long distance will give you a higher reward per rank. Now, obviously, there's no more than 1,000-mile trips in the current game as it sits, because, you know, there's only California and Nevada. So, really, I wouldn't recommend going over 3. But high-value cargo, it increases your reward, but it's more used for experience. I'll probably do like 1 of each. Okay, here's what I would say do. Do 1 of each, then do long distance, then do hazardous cargo, and then do whatever you want. Fuel economy is something I think I'm going to look into, just because it's, I mean, diesel is not much money, but it might be a good investment. Either way, I thank you guys for watching this kind of long video, and if you enjoyed, please hit a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!